With modern graphics cards being so expensive, is it worth buying a faulty one and restoring it to full working order? Probably not, but that's what we've done today anyway, as we went out and bought this RTX 2070 Super for just £85, and we'll see if we can fix its intermittent faults. Well, hopefully we can. What's wrong with it, you ask? Well, the seller states that it still installs drivers and displays out just fine, but after around 30 minutes to 2 hours of gameplay, or even just doing nothing at the desktop, it crashes and all of the fans go to 100% with a black screen. Now, this tells me it can be one of two issues. The first one, which is very likely, is a bad thermal paste job. This is a similar story to what we saw with the RTX 3080, which is still running pretty fine in my system as of now, after a thermal paste change. And the other issue could be elsewhere with the seller's system. Maybe it's got a bad power supply. This is something which we noticed when we tested the GTX 980 Ti, which we made a video on recently, by the way, which you can watch after this one. Anyways, I suspect that was a problem with their system, because when we tested it, it was perfectly fine in the test bench, especially after a thermal paste change. So these are the two main things we're going to be looking at. But thankfully, the biggest hurdle of them all is it displays out and it installs the latest NVIDIA Game Ready drivers, which is always a good sign. But to get a good gauge of the stability, we're running Unigine Heaven, which isn't the most intensive benchmark of all time, but it's great to see how stable this graphics card actually is. And we can take a look at the temperatures as well, which, to be honest, after 5 or so minutes of testing it, they're looking okay. The core, the hotspot, the memory, and even the VRM temperatures, which have a sensor on this Strix Gaming OC, are looking perfectly fine and well within spec. So I guess I'll report back in about half an hour to an hour, or if the GPU crashes. So it turns out the GPU is working perfectly fine, because I've been testing it for around 40 minutes now and it hasn't skipped a beat. The temperatures as well are looking perfectly fine. It's definitely not a temperature related issue, because the GPU core hasn't gone above 60 degrees C, with the hotspot only being around 13 degrees C over that, and the VRMs are hovering around 55. So this says to me it's definitely not a temperature related problem. And power supply wise, we're rocking an 850 watt straight power 12 from Be Quiet, which is a very competent power supply, and we've used this with like 5080s. So that's definitely not a problem there. And I think, I don't want to jinx it, but I think this graphics card's totally fine. Like, there's absolutely zero problems here as of yet. The only thing I can try differently is maybe trying an actual game, so maybe running something like 4K for instance, which admittedly is a bit overkill for the 2070 Super in 2025. However, it will be a really good stability test just to make sure this graphics card is also working just fine in some video games. So we've been running Red Dead Redemption 2 for the past 30 to 40 minutes and it's still running perfectly fine, as from what you can see behind me. Now, this says to me that the graphics card should be perfectly fine, as it's now playing games at 4K with DLSS without any crashes or issues. So this leads me to think, because the temperatures are perfectly fine, that it was an issue on their end, maybe with their power supply or another component in their PC. So could this possibly be the cheapest working RTX 2070 Super in the country? Well, it might be, because it's working and it's running games basically fine. And not only did we run Unigine Heaven and Red Dead Redemption 2, we've also tested some games to get a gauge of the performance and of course the stability. First one of which is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is running at 1440p with the high preset and DLSS set to quality, and performance is probably within line what we'd expect with a 2070 Super, because 77 FPS on average, with the 1% lows trailing that by just 10 frames per second, says to me the performance here is pretty good and there were absolutely no stability problems. Along with testing Red Dead Redemption 2 for stability, we also tested some performance, because we set it to the medium preset, which is like the middle on the slider, if that makes sense. Anyways, DLSS was set to quality here and we got, well, the same average frame rate as Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but the 1% low was ever so slightly lower than that, but that is still perfectly fine. I could definitely play this game with these settings because it looks absolutely beautiful and it performs pretty decently too. Cyberpunk 2077 on the Ultra preset with DLSS quality performs pretty decently at 60 FPS for that average frame rate, and then 52 for the 1% low, so the frame rate is relatively smooth here and there's absolutely zero complaints, especially with the performance, and along with that, the stability too. Star Wars Jedi Survivor gives 8GB graphics cards a big run for their money, but to be honest, the 2070 Super had no problems here with DLSS set to quality and the high preset. Because we're 3/4 of the way to getting to 100 FPS on average, which is very nice, and the 1% lows, which are primarily the problem in this game, aren't looking too bad either at 53 frames per second. Now that we've validated the stability of this graphics card, watch out for a benchmarking video in the coming weeks, because we're definitely going to be working on that, where we'll be looking at performance a bit more in depth. But overall, the 2070 Super passed all of these tests with flying colours and there were absolutely no stability problems. So we played Red Dead Redemption 2 for just shy of an hour, and we also ran another 40 minutes of Unigine Heaven amongst that. I reckon this graphics card is totally fine. This is because most sort of issues like this reveal themselves within, I'd like to say, an hour, as that takes enough time for the GPU to equalise, especially with its temperatures, and it takes enough time for power supply issues to show up, which I know we've got no power supply problems with the PSU we've got. Am I fully confident in its stability? Not 100%. I want to run more tests and I'll report back findings of these in the edit. It will be on screen at some point, so hopefully it all checks out, but to be honest, I highly suspect this is an issue on the seller's end, maybe something with their PC that might have a bad power supply or something along those lines, because it performed absolutely flawlessly in our testing. One thing I did note though is this GPU has certainly been taken apart. The tamper sticker on the back of it has been, well, punctured and ripped off, and it looks like the thermal pads on the VRMs are not OEM, they look third party. So whether this is the cause of the seller's problems or if it was an attempt to fix them, I'm not too sure, but the one thing I can say for sure is this GPU is running perfectly fine. Well, mostly. I need to do more tests. So this begs the question, should you buy a faulty graphics card to get a good deal? Probably not, because you need to really know what you're doing. Most faulty graphics cards are just absolute paperweight, especially the ones that don't display out or don't install drivers. There's absolutely, well, no hope of returning those. I've tried before in the past, it doesn't work. However, GPUs which have stability problems are more likely to be fixed, like the 980 Ti, which we made a video on recently, and obviously this 2070 Super. It seems like both of these graphics cards are working fine. But if you want a budget graphics card which has none of the downsides of a potentially faulty one, you can check this GPU out in this video up here. With that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.